Greetings everybody, I hope you're good. We're now having a look at Ger40 and we are on the monthly chart as you guys can see. And just to recap guys, remember the last time we spoke about how we have this M structure over here which has a neckline at this level more or less, right? And we said that because price had broken to the bottom side of the neckline, we expected to head back to the neckline to test it, and at this point is where we would look for potential selling opportunities. And why do I say selling opportunities? It's because guys, you know by now that whenever we have M structures and price has broken to the bottom side of that neckline, we expect it to head up to the neckline to test it, and at that neckline is where we normally look for potential selling opportunities, right? Another thing that I'd spoken about is the fact that we have this candlestick over here. It is a bearish candlestick with a small body and quite a long lower wick, which tells us that there's a lot of money sitting at this level, right? So to be honest, on my end, I would love to see price bounce off this level and then head down to this level over here, and that would be the completion, in my humble opinion, of this huge M structure. As you guys can see, I would love to see price head down to this level. Will it happen? We don't know, but we'll see how things unravel over the next couple of months, right? Anyway, let me just add a neckline to that structure, which is the M formation. Let's have a look, just bear with me guys. We can see that more or less this is the neckline of that M structure, and just remember that necklines are an area and not so much an actual line, right? And then from here I'm just gonna head down to the weekly chart and let's have a look. What do we see on the weekly chart? Let me just zoom in a bit. On the weekly chart I can see that we also have what seems to be a W structure at this point, which also has a neckline more or less at that level, right? In fact, let me just add that neckline, so just bear with me guys while I do so. So we could say that more or less this is the neckline of that W structure, right? Another thing that I can see from my end is the fact that we have at this level over here a gap, right? And you guys know by now that gaps represent liquidity, and liquidity is money that needs to be triggered by the market at some point or another, right? So remember guys, on the monthly chart I spoke about, let me just zoom out a bit. On the monthly chart I spoke about how we have this M structure which has a neckline at that point, and I said that at this point is where we should potentially look for selling opportunities, right? So because we have a gap at this point, it would actually make sense for the market to push further down to grab the liquidity at that level, right? Because as I said, liquidity is money that needs to be grabbed by the market at one point or another. However, having said that, this entire move may take quite some time to happen. It may take some months or even years to happen. Nonetheless, at one point or another, the market needs to head down to this level to grab that liquidity. Anyway, let's proceed. So what else do we see guys in regards to the weekly chart of Ger40? Another thing that I see that is also very much important is the fact that we have this candlestick over here. It is a bearish, or rather a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick, and it tells us that at this level over here there's a lot of liquidity sitting there which needs to be grabbed by the market at one point or another. So I'm just going to mark that zone as well, or rather that level, which is we could say over there, right? There we go. Right. So what else do we see guys in regards to the weekly chart of Ger40? At this point I don't really see much, but let me just also remind you that as much as we have this candlestick over here which is a liquidity candlestick, we have another one at this point as well. At this level over here we have another one at this level again, right? So there is plenty of scope for the market to continue to push further up over the next couple of months, right? Anyway, let's proceed. I don't see anything further at this point, so what I will do is head down to the daily chart. And here we are on the daily chart. I'm just gonna adjust my neckline of that W structure. All right, and let's see. So what do we see here? The next thing that I'm going to do guys is to add my daily channel. Let's see, how would I add my daily channel in this case? I would add my daily channel in this manner, so just bear with me guys while I add my channel. I would would add my daily channel in this manner. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It's quite a steep one. Nonetheless, it's what it is, right? I would add my daily channel in this manner, and I'm just gonna zoom in a bit, right? Remember, guys, just to recap a bit, on the weekly chart we spoke about how we have that huge W structure which has a neckline at this point, right? And as I said, whenever it comes to W structures, just like with M structures, we want to see price breaking to the upside of that neckline and then pushing down to the neckline to test it, and at that neckline is where we would look for potential buying opportunities, right? So similarly, we would love to see price come back to this level to test it, and at this level, which is the neckline of the W structure, is where we would potentially look for further buying opportunities. Anyway, let's proceed. What else do we see, guys, in regards to the daily chart of Ger40? At this point, I really don't see much, although I just want to point out that we can see that price has been in a very strong upward move, right? But if you actually pay attention to this block over here, we can see that it seems as though the market has been losing some momentum. Nonetheless, it is still quite strong, right? Another thing that I also want to point out is the fact that we have this bearish candlestick over there. It is a liquidity candlestick, and it's carrying a lot of liquidity where that candlestick actually ends. In fact, let me just mark it. Let's see. We can see that at this level over here we have a lot of liquidity there that needs to be triggered by the market. And then what else do we see, guys, in regards to the daily chart of Ger40? I don't see much at this point, but let me just also remind you that on the bigger time frames we have spoken about how we have that huge M structure. To add to that, can you guys see that we've had multiple rejections at that neckline, right? Can you guys see that? And in the future we might get a rejection at that point, and that's when we might potentially see price push further down, right? So from here, what I'm gonna do is head down to the H4 chart. On the H4 chart, I'm just gonna fix my lines just to make sure that they are as accurate as can be. So just bear with me while I do so. Let's see. So what else do we see, guys, in regards to the H4 chart? On the H4 chart, the first thing that I'm going to do is to add my H4 channel as well. Let's see. Just bear with me, guys, while I do so. I would add it in this manner, more or less. And just remember, guys, we just need to make sure that whatever drawings we add to our charts are as accurate as can be. So just bear with me, guys. Let's see. I would add my H4 channel more or less in this manner. Let's see. I would add it more or less in this manner, more or less, right? So there goes our H4 channel, right? So what do we see, guys, in regards to the H4 chart? Remember, guys, that at this point in time the market is very much bullish, and on the H4 chart I can see that we had a very nice W structure here with neckline there. Price broke to the upside of that neckline, came back to the neckline to test it, and at that neckline is where we would have looked for potential buying opportunities, right? Anyway, let's proceed. What else do we see? At this point I don't see much in as far as buying or selling opportunities goes. However, as much as we had this W structure over here with a neckline over there, right, we also had another smaller W structure at this point, which also has a neckline at that point. So what may actually happen is that should the market come back to this level, at this level we should be looking for potential buying opportunities, right? But for now, in as far as buying or selling, I don't see any opportunities. But just to go back to the daily chart, on the daily chart, guys, I think the best thing to do is to wait for price to reach the neckline of that huge M structure that we spoke about, and at that neckline we should then look for potential selling opportunities, right? So that is it in as far as my analysis goes. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section, and just remember to like and subscribe if you do like the content. Peace out, guys.